I've been so looking forward to this conversation, and I can already tell you we're not going to have enough time. One thing that I will also say is that I felt the first elevation of my spirit or optimism in hearing you speak, although I haven't heard the details yet, when you are alluding to the idea that these people have failed, that they are over, that they're done with. And I'm going to get into that and hear why, because everyone needs to hear your explanation. But before I do that, I want to delve a little bit further into this issue with the WHO. I have been speaking, I know very little about the WEF, and I think most Americans, frankly, don't. It's perceived as this entity, this very powerful entity of rich people. The WHO, on the other hand, I am very open in saying, and I say it almost every show, that the WHO is fundamentally the long arm of the Chinese Communist Party. They are led by former terrorists. They have nothing to do with health. They are absolutely nothing more than power mongers. And one of the wonderful things that Donald Trump did was to remove our membership in the WHO. And tragically, we have been reinvested in them through our current president. The Biden administration got us back into this. Lay out, if you would, how the real connection goes between the WEF and other of these global entities like the World Health Organization. What is the relationship? Who's pulling the puppet strings?
Well, it's difficult. It's from the outside, it's opaque. And if you start digging, it's actually all there. Now let's separate the two. And WEF has been advocating in lockstep with this fake doctor, and you said it correctly, former or is terrorist, war criminal, Tedros, in lockstep. That's a Nazi terminology, lockstep, Gleichschritt in German. They have managed to inject 5.7 people with coercion and sometimes also government mandates, which are unconstitutional. So the WHO, as you well know, majority of it's first of all an NGO. Okay, people think it's a UN kind of. No, it's not. It's a privately financed NGO. The majority comes from the Chinese Communist Party, which interacts with Bill Gates, who's a big funder of this thing, and Germany, funny enough, and other countries like Switzerland being stupid enough to fund it, and other people.
Right.
But it's not a government supranational like the World Bank or something other like that. It's not. It is a private NGO, okay, and it has got immunity that is criminal, in my personal opinion. For those people to operate in Geneva is a disgrace for our nation. The WEF is a sister company, organization with the same setup, diplomatic immunity. Now, why does a business club need a diplomatic immunity? Can you tell me? I mean, an ambassador needs that to do his job. An embassy needs that. You're representing, the country abroad. But a private business club getting a diplomatic immunity, you must be kidding me. All this is over now. I tell you why. So you look at the financing strings, follow the money. Then you find out Bill Gates is one of the biggest contributors along China, the Chinese Communist Party, I must say. And the Chinese government is not necessarily all of it in it. You understand what I mean? They also have their fights within.
Sure.
But President Trump, he knows it all along. He went out of it. First thing he did, he went right out of it. And President Trump, your actual president, Trump today, a few days ago, he said, I will take them apart. Actually, he's doing it, but it's all coming to a head now. They've crossed the red line. What they've done is beyond biblical. We never had a democide in the human history. Never, ever in our human species existence. This is the first democide that has attacked the human species, the divine human species. And alongside comes the wokeism, the transgenderism, and all this stuff, which is completely bizarre. They try to take a world government, a world health pass, QR code, vaxxed, unvaxxed. No, won't work like that. They failed. And
Right. Well, and this thing that we refer intermittently as a treaty or the amendments to the existing international health that we're looking down. This thing is due to go into existence, I think, in May of 2024 if we don't opt out. I talk about it quite a bit, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. It goes far beyond anything related to a quote pandemic. This is very loosely defined. Anything that they perceive to be, or they declare to be, I should say, a public health emergency. It could be something as ambiguous as climate change or gun violence or God knows what. What's your take? Talk a little bit more about this WHO takeover of our Constitution in a time of crisis, and what would happen if we actually were to sign on to this thing.
Well, it's a coup d'etat. They tried, they failed. But if this would come into existence, it would give them full legislative and executive power. Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. It would submit your military and your police, your whatever executive force you have, under Tedros' command. This is high treason and is unconstitutional. Won't work. Can't work. The word pandemic is their invention, by the way. Pandemics don't exist technically. It's impossible. It is impossible. There is no such thing as a virus that can spread within weeks around the globe and kill people. It didn't kill people. What killed people was the ventilators, remdesivir, and wrong protocols, which were on purpose set up to depopulate. Right. We have 20 million killed and injured victims, and the curve is accelerating. We will lose 30% of 5.7 billion people and children in the next 5 years. Okay, this is fact, evidence.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect segue. My next question was going to be specifically about, you used the word and that depopulation, that you believe that fundamentally the WEF and then using the WHO and these various governments to exact depopulation. Let's talk about that. I know that we have Bill Gates on record for saying it, but take us back through the interests of the WEF in actually depopulating the globe and why they would want to do that.
I'm not part of it. I don't know. It's not. See, I always tell people which divine human brain, being evil as it might be, could even go for this. It's a mystery, but that plan is clear. It's known. That was their plan. They failed. There is no reason to depopulate. We have no climate crisis. We have enough oil and gas for a long time. And we have enough food all over the place. We have beef. We should eat beef. Yes, you should eat beef. Forget this artificial meat, soya stuff. We have enough room for people. Now, if you elect to live in downtown Manhattan and Madison Avenue, that's fine. That's your call. But you're not forced to live in Manhattan or in London downtown or in Geneva downtown. You can live much cheaper, 5 miles, 10 miles outside of a city center or in the countryside. There is no need. We have enough. Look at Africa. It's vast. The Russian Federation. Switzerland fits 414 times into the Russian Federation. The land is vast. We have land in the United States. I fly from New York to LA on a plane and I look down over the Midwest. There's wonderful farmland. It's huge. There is no overpopulation. This is all like the climate crisis, like the pandemic lie, the fake virus, the psyops. That was all concocted to create fear and to condition people. We have Greta Thunberg, who refused to go to primary school, is now a professor by some university. Give me a break. She speaks at the UN insulting diplomats. No. The system is wrong. It's a deep state. They evolved. That was their coup d'etat on the globe. They failed. And your current president and commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump, is taking care of it. And I tell you why.
Well, let me ask you this. I know before I get into that, that's where we're going to go next. But one more question first, which is, I know you're not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but if you know anything about other really ruthless leaders, say somebody tyrants or somebody like Hitler had a long and well-established psychiatric issue. He had a psychiatric, he was determined to be psychotic during the time that he was in the military when he was younger. Many people don't know that. He certainly had visions of grandeur. He elevated himself because he was a charismatic leader. Tell me this, your father had a long and extensive relationship or understanding of Klaus Schwab, and you certainly have known him. Do you think that he is actually psychopathic? I mean, is he a psychopath? Is he a sociopath? Is he mentally ill, in your opinion?
Let me say this. I learned this from psychiatrists because I'm suffering from a deep depression. And I know a lot of professors in this field from Switzerland and Germany and France. Don't get me wrong, Dr. Victory, and I like your name, Victory. It's a victory now. Everybody can go mad. The question is how it manifests. All right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you push people into a certain corner like a rat, they can go mad and berserk and do things they would never do if they're in mental distress. Then there's the megalomaniacs, the ones that feel fascists, their fascist tendencies, like Ursula von der Leyen, or, Stalin also was not, sober. He helped to eradicate the Nazis. Without the Russians, we would all speak German in Europe. But look, Schwab has evolved, and you know what? He's been feeding himself with fame. He definitely is a narcissist, and for that, he doesn't have to be a psychologist. And he loves the spotlight, and he indoctrinates the same, or infects his clients, those idiots. I call them really, you're all idiots, paying $20,000 to go there. You think you're in God's waiting room, trying to grab the power with Schwab? You must be kidding me. But they were infected by this world stage. Trump went once, and he told them off on stage, and then said, you know what, I'm not going back to this crazy club. Right. And Putin went there once and said, you know what, no way, these are mad people. And nobody paid attention, but the WEF they have announced what they want to do on their website. Look at their website. Take the cars away. Try to take a Texan car, taking a Texan citizen, don't go away. Right. Good luck. They want to deprive you of property. Klaus Schwab is on record saying you will own nothing and you will be happy. He then said we must eat insects. Well, Ursula von der Leyen, that incompetent, unelected idiot, made a law, and now you have European food supplies mixed with insects. It's a humiliation. It's a psyops to submit you to their ideology. Like the masks. The masks were nothing else than to submit humanity into a fascist rule. You must wear a mask. Children, it is psychological terror. So I cannot judge if Mr. Schwab is mentally seriously ill in an episode or not. I don't know. He definitely has a problem with himself, I believe. Which is a father too. Which father can advocate such stuff? Yes. That's where maybe he's schizophrenic. I don't know.
Well, I will tell you, I agree with you, and I've said many, many times with regard, I'm in lockstep with you with regard to the masks. There's nothing more dehumanizing than forcing someone to cover their face. The Nazis did it by also shaving your hair when you went into the camps, because again, this is a dehumanizing thing. It's a humiliating and dehumanizing effort, and it's all about control and has nothing to do whatsoever with health. The WEF, I have to say, these are people who, for most of us, I was never scared of COVID, the virus. I had no concern about it whatsoever. And I was terrified about the injections, about the mRNA shots, more for others because I knew that I would never take one. On the other hand, the WEF is a very scary entity to me. The people are scary. They seem to have unlimited power. Was your father, do you have fear? I want to hear about why you think they're over, because that makes me so happy. But did your father, or do you have fear of their power over you individually,
No.
not over society, but as an individual, to be targeted by them?
Oh no, this is getting paranoia, No,
Okay.
Fear is used by Satan. If you tell Satan, I love you, and give him light, you know what happens? They go. Don't fear them. Look, I've been advising heads of states and Putin and other people. These people are like you and me, and in crisis, they are pretty much alone, and they have to be smart like your president. And, fear is the wrong thing. My father started when he cooperated with these people. Again, those were colleagues. Those were honest people. They were not globalists. We're talking the 70s. There were some of them royals from the Middle East, Kuwaiti royal family, etc., etc. The Malaysian government, the Singaporeans were there, genuinely trying to find out, hey, what are you doing? And then they went skiing together in the downtime, bonding, simple things. There was no bodyguards, no ticket sales. It wasn't a public forum. It was you got invited into. It's not Bilderberg, by the way, not at all. It was not conspiracy. They were not conspiring to formulate a policy that could endanger their own constitutions or the constitution of another country. But the WEF in the recent years has evolved into a machine, and the Swiss government has put it up on our government website, Agenda 2030. Those people must be arrested to put this up. It's terrible. It's unconstitutional. End of statement. Not working. Won't work. So, yeah.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I'm not. I'm a bit lost because they're so. People have this. Look what they have done. That's it. They're finished. They are finished.
And so I guess that's how do they get finished? So let's move into that. Why you feel very confident, and it gives me hope that this will not happen, that they will not be successful. So talk about why do you believe that?
I put up the American flag in honor of the men and women who serve your military, first of all. And I would like to, at this stage, I must offer condolences to the Trump family, because the elder sister of your president, Marianne Trump, passed away yesterday, as I understood. And from our family, Najadi family from Switzerland, we offer our deepest condolences. May God rest her soul. I'm a friend of the United States, of we the people, Americans. I used to work for Merrill Lynch. I had an office in New York. I was with these things. I used to advise governments in crisis. I was not a trader. I was not shuffling money for myself, etc. So here you go. Why? Well, Dr. Victory, you're sitting in a liberated land because your actual president is President Trump, and he's the commander-in-chief. I tell you why. Everybody can do this now, listening to your program. Maybe it's a first in such a broad spectrum in your country. Go to the whitehouse.gov website, type in the search function, the number 13848, hit enter. Then you see an extension of President Trump's Executive Order 13848 that he authored, signed, and enacted on the 12th of September, 2018, President Trump. And the title is, listen to the words, National Emergency for election interference. This order annuls all presidential votes, first of all. Second, 10 other overlapping consecutive executive orders, all valid, extended today. Now, the website, you go to the website shows you that order has been extended on the 7th of September of this year. And it's signed by a Mr. Joseph R. Robinette, funny, Joseph Biden, Jr. What is missing there? The title.
President.
It doesn't say president.
President, yeah.
Now, if he would be president, still alive, he's not alive anymore. But why would Mr. Biden, president, who hates the guts, supposedly, of President Trump and says, I take him behind the barn and all these things, he's a criminal, and, all these things, rubbish. Why would he extend an executive order that pulls his pants down? Wake up, Americans, you're safe. You got the finest president probably in the American history. I'm sorry for George Washington, I don't want to insult him. He saved the nation. Now, he also has federalized the National Guard. The National Guard was state-bound. So the Texas helicopters could not operate in New York State and vice versa. He has federalized it already. So the Texas National Guard armed helicopters could do, and they do, operations now in other states and vice versa. Texas being an example. Then he has put the United States, he has mobilized 1 million National Guard officers and soldiers into active war duty. Your country now is under military occupancy, not by the Chinese or the Russians, by your own good, we the people constitution. They're protecting the constitution, okay? And he has triggered himself the Wartime President Act 1550. Look it up. He is the wartime president. And the only institution to reverse that status is the wartime president. So is the law. Military justice is in vigor, is active in the United States and globally. And the War Law Manual of 2015, a thick book, is the rule of law. This is it. Why does he go to federal civil courts that are corrupted? He doesn't have to. He responds only to military justice, right? He's wartime president, commander-in-chief. The US Space Force is the central command now of all your military. Go and look it up. That's it. So the military operation has been triggered, and he has called the War Generals Alliance. Go look it up in the documents.info, done by Derek Johnson, a US veteran, military veteran, a fantastic man. I think he's younger than me. And he's put this work together for you. It's the disclosure sites. These are not military secrets. These are public records. The Federal Registry, the whitehouse.gov website, go and do it now. It's all in front of your eyes. The Biden flag shown has a golden fringe around it. It's not the Title IV flag. But the US military has this flag. It's the Title IV flag. I don't see any atomic US submarine running around with a gold fringe flag. Means military occupancy, right? So the Mar-a-Lago has a no-fly zone. Hello? Because it's the actual White House. These are facts. This is not conspiracy. This is good facts. You need to know it. Do the homework. It's good. And so the War Generals Alliance, you get to know this, is 33 allied military organizations, 200 active duty military generals are behind the United States Commander-in-Chief Trump right now, operate more than a year, and they become visible very soon globally to clean up the deep state. That includes WHO, WEF. They're finished. I'm saying it, nobody will kill me. Won't change. If they kill me, nothing will change. It's unstoppable. It's happening. There is no presidential election because he's the president. Have you seen Biden, Obama, Clinton, John Kerry rallying anywhere? I mean, it should be a presidential race where that's rallying for their candidate. I don't. Trump is doing just these rallies to unite the people and to show them how corrupt the courts are in the United States. The civil court.
Two things I think are concerning to me right now about all of this, which is, number one, although I would never have believed they could have taken the case with President Trump as far as they have, here he is in court in New York, and one wonders, there are many pundits who say it is plausible that he could actually get convicted and get sent to prison.
You don't understand me. Excuse me, ma'am, doctor. He can't. He's the commander-in-chief, a wartime president. He does not respond to civil and federal courts. He doesn't have to. He's going there to show the people. It's a big show. He's using that as airtime to show the people how corrupt they are. Look, Stormy Daniels collapsed. The toilet files, Mar-a-Lago collapsed. Everything collapsed after he went there. Everything collapsed, right? Look at this new, this colored, this lady who indicted him, this prosecutor, Leticia. She makes $100,000 a year salary. That's in her IRS report. Yet, in the nick of time, she has accumulated more than $14 million. It's also in her IRS report. I'd like to investigate that lady. How the hell are you Mrs. Buffett making, stock? I mean, $14-15 million for a poor, prosecutor? Go and follow the money. So Trump, no, nothing will happen to him. Look how he's moving. He's moving with the Secret Service. This is not private security. The ambulance is following. optics in the military. Use your eyes and start, not you, I mean the people, please think logically. 1 kilometer convoy, that's the president of the United States, no one else.
Pivot for a second here and talk about the military, not only the U.S. military, but the militaries around the world. I have grave concerns about our military, primarily because they were mandated, number one, to get these injections. And I think we have exacted some significant harm to our military. Secondly, they are under assault from the wave of wokeism and the idea that we have now are supposed to be social justice warriors. They spend more time, frankly, worrying about transgender. Do we have any transgenders in high levels of the military, and are we having enough people who are transgender and these sorts of things? I feel that we've undermined significantly our credibility and our power. Do you see that has happened around other parts of the world, in your own country and elsewhere, that either if it's by the mandates for the injections, the mRNA, or other of these social issues that have degraded the strength of your military?
Yes, look, it was Fauci and rogue elements, no names, of the US military that have duped President Trump into this, call it horseshit. It was not President Trump who attacked his own military. I want to be very clear about this, and very clear about this. They failed, but unfortunately, yes, we have deaths in the US military, and these are direct consequences of those jabs, unfortunately, and God rest their soul, they're heroes. In Switzerland, same. I have many military officers who called me. They lost their jobs. They got 3 to 4 kids. They refused to get the jabs and they got kicked out. They were proud to serve the nation's constitution and the people and the security of our nation. They are jobless today, but you know what? They'll be rewarded very soon, very, very soon. They're heroes. In France, same thing. Macron, also not elected, by the way, but different story, force injected the French military and the Gendarmerie Nationale. Guess what? I had an interview with the Gendarmerie Nationale website, news website of the veterans. The film that you put also on the website is on their front page. And my interview where I told them, your president has made a coup d'etat, has committed high treason by injecting the French military and Gendarmerie Nationale. That's what it is. Okay? That's what it is. The police, funny enough, in France, has not been force injected. Why? The police is the helpers of any corrupt government on the streets. The police. Not in Switzerland, but in many countries. And yeah, it is coup d'etat. It is a high treason, what has happened. And they're caught. All of them are caught. And now the transgender issue is a problem. You have now in Germany or Sweden, gay parades. I mean, gay people are not, sorry, let's respect the minorities. They're a minority and they have their place. But please, in the bedroom, do not indoctrinate and do not touch children. Okay? Anybody who touches children, listen, all the pedophiles, we have you on record globally. You're finished too. So this wokeism is cancelled, will be cancelled. President Trump announced it a few days ago publicly, I think in Miami. He said, I will cancel woke. Finished. And not in the army anymore. Certainly not. Because it doesn't scare the enemy. It makes you weaker.
I don't have any illusion that President Trump had any idea. He's not a scientist. There's no reason he should have understood the intricacies of vaccinology or mRNA technology or anything else. That said, what is your theory about why he has not come out and acknowledged? We all know the truth now about the vaccines. He continues, and I think one of the things that is really undermining him in the public eye is that he has not come out and said, wow, I was duped. I was sold a bill of goods. I was told one thing and what they produced was something else. Why has he not come out and stated that publicly in your mind?
Because the operation, which will become visible globally in one go, shock and awe, is the retribution for what they have done also to President Trump. Don't forget that. And why should he? It's a military operation that is secret. Not that she exists. I gave you the references. That's not a secret. But I don't know how they do it and when do they surface, tomorrow or after tomorrow. I don't know. That I think is going to be his last, then final package that he will deliver. And don't worry, he will put the record straight. But it's too early now because it's waking up sleeping dogs. And you don't want to, if he says I was duped, then he has to produce evidence. But this evidence is now used in the global takedown of the monsters. And it's not just some people who are around like Dr. Fauci and Barrage and all these people. Many, many more international. The list is from here, from LA to Tokyo and back. We know where they live. They're encrypted emails. Guess what? The Space Force cracks them in 5 seconds. They all think they have these encrypted phones, like Dr. Tedros and all these people. You're finished. Right. It's all on record. So no, the big sad victory. It's a victory already, but the public victory will come when the system is on hard reset.